Hey everyone, my name is Master Walrus 9. I'm here to start off a new series I'm going to call TCG Dailies. This is where I'm going to go in, do my dailies for a certain TCG I want to play for that day, and kind of just call it a day. So, first off, new series, I'm going to start off with Pokemon TCG Live. This is a franchise that I do enjoy playing, and I've played a bit of it. I've been playing since the launch of Live. However, I haven't played much in terms of the old TCG Online. So, I wouldn't say I'm great at it, but I understand a thing or two. One reason I want to start it today was because new set Paradox Rift came out, which looks good. I haven't taken much of a look of a peek, but just taking some sneaks at certain items. I see they got two new mechanics, the ancient and the modern or futuristic Paradox Pokemon. So yeah. So first thing we're just going to do is take a look at the new Premium Pass and Battle Pass that's going on with TCG Live to see what's the big hits. I mean, for 600 premium currency, which you can't even buy, you just have to earn it, I think it's honestly pretty good gig. So, taking a look at the 50 drop, you got a Full Art Goldingo EX, a Salamence box, and just some packs. You get a collector's crate from Paradox Rift, which honestly haven't had the great, and a Alt Art Roaring Moon EX. We'll take a look at cards individually in a later episode. For now, I just want to kind of see what the hits are. Roaring Moon Coin at 42 in Premium. Collector's Crate 40 in Premium. It's nice that the Premium gives you another Collector's Crate, but at a little earlier. Personally like that. Sandals. Wow. Wow, look at those beasts. Now you're missing some socks. You know, socks and sandals is a classic combo, but just take what you get. Some packs, you get a hat. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. In the first couple sets, they dropped some. That's interesting. We'll take a look at what that looks like when we actually obtain those. They actually dropped multiple decks. Like ones at tier 0 and then some at tier 25, I want to say. Especially around the Pokemon World Championship. They dropped some bonus decks there. So, haven't seen much of those lately, but we'll definitely take what we can get. Free cards is free cards. Tier 16 in the basic pass, you have a gold Dark Patch and a Trainer Gallery Professor Sawdust Vitality. Now again, we're going to take a look at the new cards later on, but Dark Patch, honestly, there's a lot of Dark support in this, and Dark Patch is one of those ones that works well. Dark is a super weird type because it's kind of blended. It's weak to fighting on some instances, weak to grass on some instances, and then you're only really hitting Psychic for super effective. And while Psychic's nice, depending on what you're playing against, it could either be really good for you or really bad. Because there are certain Psychic types that operate like Fairy types, such as, I think Gardevoir EX works that way, we'll check in a minute. To where you're kind of going neutral. But there's some Psychic types that work like Psychic types and they're weak to Dark. So, personally, I think Dark's an alright type. It's very rogue. Taking a look at tier 14 on the Premium Pass, we've got a gold Superior Energy Retrieval. Anyone who's still running Chien-Pao EX deck, that's only going to get really better with age because everything's brand new, and the more water types you add, just the better it's going to get. And a Full Art Tulip. Okay, I'm not crazy on the art. I'm not quite familiar with the characters from the games, so I can't really say much on that aspect, but I've seen better art from my perspective. Taking a look, Tier 12 has the same setup as Tier 16, Gold Dark Patch, and a Professor Sada's Vitality. And looking at tier 11 in the premium, we have another Gold Superior Energy Retrieval, Gold Fog Crystal. Gold Fog Crystal is really good. If you're playing Psychic decks, you're going to want to run 4 of Fog Crystal. So getting a free Gold Fog Crystal is really nice. It's pretty much free considering that you'll get your premium currency back and way more after completing the premium pass. Taking a look at tier 10, you get a Moltres Galarian form. See, this is one that's weak to grass types. The fact that it's E is a little worrying, but it looks fine. Again, it's playing with the rampness of Dark, which is nice, and another Dark patch. And I think that's our playset of Dark patches. We're at 3 at the minimum. Yeah. Yep, there's our playset 4. You get a Full Art Squawkabilly EX and a Dark patch, and oh, Scarlet Violet Energy. That's nice. I like the little sparkles on that. That's really nice. That's in tier 8. Tier 9 premium, you get a Full Art Worker and a Gold Super Rod. Super Rod's nice card. Really am a fan. Would recommend as a fill-in if you need to fill in any decks. Get your basic energy back into your deck. Get your Pokemon back into your deck. There's some that don't really need it. But if you're planning a Super Turbo in which you can deck out really fast, these can actually save you. Worker's a nice card. Stadiums can be make or break, and so being able to get rid of stadiums are nice. Having the draw free option with getting rid of a stadium works really well. It's a lot better than playing Pumpkaboo and eating up a slot, because there's no real great ways to get rid of Pumpkaboo in this game, or this age, since Scoop Up Net's gone. You're going to be burning Supporter for the turn, so it's better to just burn your Supporter, getting rid of that stadium to draw it free. Squawkabilly EX, I can't say I use it too much, but I do definitely see this card in play with a lot of higher end decks. Stuff that just wants to maximize their first turn potential. If you're running Battle VIP Pass, this is definitely a card that can utilize the Battle VIP Pass, since you can rush down and get more. Plus the move, and the move isn't bad. The problem is, you know, it's weak damage, and it's an EX with super low health. If you're playing your cards right, you can work out well with Squawkabilly EX, but it's risky. Boss's Orders, something that can move up Squawkabilly EX, it's gonna be tough. They fortunately have supporters that can deal with that. I think it's one of the classmates. I'll take a look. I know what card I'm looking for. Okay, we have a Full Art Lady. Full Art Lady's interesting, and another Gold Superior Energy Retrieval. So this theme seems to be based a lot off of energies, Psychic and Dark in specific. So this is tier 7 to Premium Pass. I think Lady's an interesting card because Energy Searcher is an item which does one basic energy for as an item. So you're not burning Supporter for the turn. So they decided, okay, yeah, an entire playset of Energy Search is worth 1 Supporter action per turn, which is it's an interesting approach. We have at tier 6 in the normal pass, there is a Darkrai V, which is quite interesting, supported by Darkrai V-Star. That explains it. The Dark Pulse is super interesting. 30 more damage for each Dark Energy attached to all of your Pokemon. Assuming you're playing Mono Dark deck, right? So you're running only Mono Dark Energy. The fact that you have 2 on your Darkrai V-Star on its own means you're going to hit it for base 90, which isn't crazy, but the Darkrai V-Star released in an era that wanted Dark Ramp, with stuff like Hisuian Samurott V-Star, the Moltres we saw. So Galarian Moltres V. There's a lot of stuff that can work with this. The 2 item cards from your discard pile into your hands, interesting. It's interesting because there's really no way to put item cards back into the deck. Once an item's been used, it's pretty much gone for the rest of the game. I think there's one card that can put items back into the deck, and there's a couple of Pokemon that can use their move to put an item back into the hand. So it's not bad, especially considering if you're planning with Dark Patch. Taking a look at Tier 5 and Premium, we have Gholdengo and Gimmighoul in full arts. Again, we'll look at Gholdengo EX later on, but here it is. Love the art. Pokemon number 1000. Absolutely great. Oh, and you have another Golden Superior Energy Retrieval. So you get a full playset of those. That's nice. Tier 4, you get another Sawdust Vitality. That's one of those cards they're pushing. And Mew EX. Mew EX is super interesting. The restart's super nice in case you're running low. Drawing up to 3, all you need at times is just one card, so drawing that third card really helps. Genome Hacking is an interesting move. If your opponent has something garbage up front, then that's kind of garbage. But a lot of times you're going to have heavy hitters up front. And you can kind of cheat out these energies using Lugia V-Star, which kind of makes it relevant again, since they're colorless and they don't really have a limit on being a rule box. Mew EX is interesting. A lot of decks run it just because of the diversity in it. Looking at Tier 2 in base, another Roaring Moon EX, Darkrai V, Darkrai V-Star. You can kind of see the concept they want to blend with. And Tier 1 in Premium has another Gimmighoul and Gholdengo. So, with all that said, let's take a look at what I actually consider the money of the set. These are the decks they give out at each of the introduction to the series. They love to showcase the set they're working with, some of the big Pokemon. You typically get one in the basic pass, one in the premium pass. So let's just take a look. 7 packs and 125 Fortune Crystals is super nice. So we're looking at Roaring Moon EX. We have 4 Nest Balls, 1 Pal Pad. 1 Pal Pad's interesting. I kind of like that concept. 2 Professor's Research, 1 Switch, 4 Ultra Balls, 2 Orders, 2 Yono, 1 Super Rod, 2 Reversal Energy. Reversal Energy is interesting. If you look at Reversal Energy, it can be really good, but it has a lot of stipulations. Have to have more prize cards, has to be an evolution Pokemon, and cannot have a rule box. So that's a lot. And it shuts down a lot, so your Roaring Moon EX not going to be able to hit it. Brute Bonnet, Morpeko, Radiant Alakazam. So what can you hit? You're going to hit your Alolan Raticate, you're going to hit your Bibarel. So that explains why they're running 2. I mean, once you have it, it sets up for the Raticate. But honestly, if I was composing the deck, I don't know if I would include it. I'd focus more on evolutions if that was the case. I like to leave the deck as is, just to experience it. But, yeah. Next up, we got Morpeko. This is from Paradox Rift. 70 HP, Dark type, basic. Abilities in a Hungry Hurry. If this has no energy, has no retreat cost. That's nice if you ever in a situation where one of your Pokemon dies and he needs to move up, or you have not a great hand, you can always throw Morpeko down to set yourself up and then switch out. The Energizer Wheel, move 2 Dark Energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. I like that. That's not bad. I mean, 70's alright. Personally would like to see a bit more damage, but all things considered, if you're planning on getting it hit and letting this die, well, you don't have to waste the 2 Dark Energy. It's getting recycled to something else. So, not bad. Not bad. Brute Bonnet. If this has an... Oh, first off, Dark type, 120 basic, and it's an Ancient. So it's kind of like... I have a feeling it's going to be a lot like a Single Strike, Rapid Strike. We'll see how it works. So, once during your turn, this Pokemon has an Ancient Booster Energy Capsule attached. May make both active Pokemon poisoned. And that's not bad, especially considering the combo of if you have Morpeko in play. Well, you use Brute Bonnet, Well, Morpeko's in play, make your opponent poisoned, then you get a free retreat into whoever you want to hit. So honestly, not crazy. Or not crazy, but it's not bad. All things considered. The attack is 2 dark, 1 colorless for 120. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. Again, the attack's not crazy, but all things considered, what's probably going on is you're going to be using it for that ability. Roaring Moon EX, we're looking at 2 copies of this. So it's a dark type, 230, and it's an EX, so EX rules apply. It's an ancient type as well. 2 dark and a colorless for both moves. You can knock out your opponent's Pokemon, but if you do so, you have to deal 200 damage to yourself. Which is kind of crazy, because it really sets it up for an easy KO. So you kind of want to do something else with it. However, if you can choke out your opponent in certain ways, that's pretty good. Now, this is effect damage, so you do have to be super careful. If you're playing against Toedscruel EX, if any of this Pokemon has a grass energy on it, then it does not take effects from moves. Anything that does not take effects from moves is not going to be affected by this. It's granted not going to knock it out, so it's not going to take the damage, but it's kind of a waste of a turn. Taking a look at the other one, it's 100, but if you discard a Stadium in play, you can do 120. So it's not a mandatory discard a Stadium in play, which is nice in case you don't want to do it. Well, you can just play an easy Stadium and discard it or get rid of your opponent's Stadium, and that's a 220 hit, and that's not bad. Mew VMAX really isn't a deck you see as much anymore in TCG Live, and that's because a lot of people like to play the free decks they get. Mew VMAX was a free deck people got, but all things considered, that takes out Mew VMAX. And depending on what Psychic type decks are around, then that might be good. Honestly, Roaring Moon EX, I'm kind of a fan. It's not crazy, but it's alright. It's alright. You can play some gimmicks. I want to see what else they support with. Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. It gets plus 60 HP, restores all special conditions, and can't be affected by special conditions. That's not bad. I like that. Especially working with the Roaring Moon. That's going to push it to 290 HP, which means it has 90 HP afterwards where it can't be attacked. Grass types really are not seen in play, so you're not going to be taking that bonus damage. So they're going to have to hit for 90 in order to get a KO on you. So honestly, I like, it's a good combo. Earthen Vessel is an ancient item. You have to discard this card. You have to discard another card in hand in order to use this. You get to search for 2 basic energy, put them in your hand. That's not bad. That's really good, actually. There's some cards that you actually want discarded. So say you're running a V-Union. Excellent card. You have a Battle VIP pass in your hand that you don't want to use anymore because it's after turn 1. You can discard that really easily. Or, if you want to set up energy with energy in the trash for Dark Patch, then that's an awesome card. It just says a card, Dark Patch will allow you to grab the basic energy you've discarded. Okay, finally we're looking at Sada's Vitality. 2 of your ancient Pokemon, attach a basic energy from your discard pile to each of them. If you attach your energy this way, draw 3 cards. This is super nice for ancients, kind of rampy. That's what dark types want. So honestly, really good. We got 10 dark energies. Radiant Greninja, everyone knows that that does. 4 Dark Patch, 2 Alolan Raticate, and Rattata. This one's super interesting. Leave your opponent with 10 HP. It's a sleeper, you know. I think pre-Reversal Energy, you would not be able to use this Alolan Raticate. Free colorless energy in order to leave it at 10. Not even kill, but leave it at 10. That's rough. But with Reversal Energy, I think it works well enough with the Alolan Raticate. We got Bidoof B-Barrel combo. We got Free Path to the Peak, Escape Rope, and a Collapsing. All in all, I think this is good. I think the deck they provide is a decent enough showcase of ancient Pokemon. The composition's alright. There's some stuff I'd change slightly. But all in all, I'm going to leave the deck the same just to enjoy it. So then we're going to take a look at the next deck, which is Gholdengo EX. So let's take a look at items and supporters real quick. Energy retrieval. Okay, so Palpad, Professor's Research. We got a Switch, some Ultra Balls, Artisan, Boss's Orders, Leono, Psychic and Steel Energy. Now that's interesting. We're running a couple Capturing Aromas, couple Level Balls, 2 Claras, Rescue Carrier, and 4 Battle VIP Pass. This deck is super interesting if I'm saying anything. There's a lot of stuff going on. I don't think there's anything really new in terms of items that needs to be showcased. I guess at most it's Artisan, which allows you to search for a non-Roblox basic Pokemon to put on your bench. So it's like a level ball, except it can't be Roblox. Other than that, everything is fairly same. It's alright. I like the addition of Palpad. Especially with Research, you can discard cards really easily, so yeah, I think it's alright. Taking a look at the Pokemon, we got Indeedee from Scarlet Violet 1. You can cheat out an evolution Pokemon, which actually encourages you to go turn 2. I mean, everyone wants to go turn 1, and I think even in this deck, you're going to still want to go turn 1, but this one makes it alright if you have to go turn 2. Forcing a Sleep's alright. Sleep's not as good as Paralyzed, but it's whatever. Not a Radiant Greninja, but there's no water energies to utilize to move, so. Gimmighoul. Just a generic basic Pokemon. Gholdengo EX is where the money's at. During your turn, you can draw a card. If it's in the active slot, draw one more card. So you get to draw up to 2 cards per turn. That's actually crazy good. It's not as good as the Pidgeot EX, which allows you to actually pick out which cards you want once per turn. But the fact that Pidgeot EX is such a good card just by allowing you to pick out one singular card, adding a free draw 2 to your normal playstyle works really well. For 1 steal, you do 50 times something. This card does require you to discard any number of basic energy from your hand. It does 50 for each card you discard this way. So you want to get a ton of basic energy in your hand, discard it, 50 damage. I mean, if you're thinking tier 3 Pokemon EX or stage 2 Pokemon EX have an average of 330 health, you can discard 7 energy, and that's an instant KO against one heavy hitter for theoretically 1 energy. So let's take a look at what's our energy gatherers. We have energy retrieval and Clara, and that's really it. And if I'm being honest, I kind of would like to switch this up. I might make a copy of this deck. Some of the cards they showcased, like Lady, like Fog Crystal, Superior Energy Retrieval, those would definitely add to the fluidity of Gholdengo's deck. We got some Kirlia for reinforcement, we got some Ralts, and let's see how we're going into the heavy hitters there. We go Gallade. This Gallade's not crazy, it's good, but you're really using it for the buddy catch. The fact that there's one in there only makes sense. We got Gardevoir with Shining Arcana, which is pretty good. 30 more for each Psychic Energy, allows for a nice switch in if you need to hit some Psychic. And we got a Fighting type Gallade from Chilling Reign. Does 60 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon V in play. Now, that's not great. In the new EX era, you really don't see much Vs. But if you need a Fighting type, if your opponent's playing a ton of Pokemon Vs, yeah, it works well enough. You got a Mew, which allows you to draw an item card you find there. That's not bad. I could also see Celebi flowing well with this deck, which is the same thing. Look at top 6, but you pick an energy if it's in the active slot. So, you know, all in all, I think the deck's super interesting, but I'm not crazy on it like the Ancient deck. So we're just gonna rush through here, collect these because I want to use these. and then we'll try and do my dailies. Okay. Just gonna run through these real quick. Don't want to skip all because I still want to get the Pokemon card packs open. You know, with 7 packs, you're not guaranteed, but there's a high odds that you get pull something. Okay, we got Tinkatink. Boundless Power, 70 damage. I'm not crazy on that. Crustle. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 100 less damage from attacks. Masquerain. Flip a coin so you get tails for each head shuffle and energy. Not crazy on those effects. Because you're going to flip tails on your first one and the move's done and your Masquerain's dead. Gourgeist. This Pokemon's knocked out from damage. Your opponent discards 2 random cards from their hand. I like that. You pair that with Curse Mask. That's 3 random cards discarded from their hand. That's going to really make people scared of attacking into Gourgeist. Free energy for 100 isn't crazy, but it forces the opponent into a position where they can't really move Gourgeist out. If I get a playset and I'm feeling interesting, I would definitely look at Gourgeist. And by the fact that it's also a stage 1, no rule box Pokemon, you can use reversal energy. So, Shark at that, and Zacian. Oh, that's okay. Attach a basic metal from your discard to one of your bench. I like that. That's a really good. If you're playing GLC, that's definitely a Pokemon you would want to probably consider. Frogender. Some Steel Man. Wiglet, excellent art. Not a Crustle. Tinkaton. This has any steel energy attached. Does 120 more damage or discard energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. For stage 3, or stage 2, that's kind of not great. Personally, not a fan. I just stick with Tinkaton EX. Durant, love our bug boys. 20 damage for each damage counter on all of your Durant. I like that. That's really interesting. Oh, shoot. This has got me interested. I'm going to come back and take a look at this later on. 70 HP, but you can use stuff like Giant Capes to bump it up to 120 HP. And so, let's say you manage to somehow get 110 on one Durant. That's a 220 hit. 110 on 2 Durants, that's a 440 hit. That's most kills. And plus, you don't even have to go that high. You don't have to be that risky. So, I think that's interesting. I like that. Take a tough. And the Water-type Garchomp EX. Personally, loving it. I think it's an awesome card. Love the Terra types. You know, you throw it into your fighting type deck, and now you got a Water-type damage. You know, you got to watch out for electricity, but it works well fighting since, like, 99% of electric types are going to be weak to fighting. If not all. Attach up to free basic energy from your discard pile to your bench Pokemon in any way you like. It's got to be basic fighting, but you're running in a fighting deck. That's awesome. That's an actually super great move. Discard 2 energy. This attack does 120 to one of your opponent's Pokemon. That pings out the final damage you need on whatever is on the bench you need to get rid of. You can force someone up into an unfavorable spot. Excellent card. Absolutely love it. Would kind of prefer to see this as one of the deck focuses, but I get why they didn't. It's such a good card. It's going to bump electric decks up even more. It's in proxy going to turn fighting decks a bit more in favor. So, yeah. Simisage, love the mechanic with the new Simi-Trio. If you have Simisage, Simisear, and Simipour, ignore the colorless energy cost of those Pokemon. So it'll be 1 grass, 1 fire, and 1 water for Simisage, Simisear, and Simipour respectively. So it's an interesting mechanic. And since you're running a box deck that's all basics, I like it. Cloth, I've never had a Cloth card that I liked. Haven't seen one yet. This one's alright. This one is alright. Yeah, it's only 30 base damage for 2 colorless, but, and this is the big but, 160 more damage if it's affected by a special condition. This is 190 damage if it's affected by a special condition. Now, how we're going to force this to happen, we play our Brute Bonnet. We play it in our Ancient deck. Brute Bonnet makes both active Pokemon poisoned. So, you're going to do 200 damage, because the 190 from Cloth, and then the 10 from Poison. And if they don't switch out, that's a 210. This Cloth is really good in that aspect. I mean, granted, I haven't played it yet, but this is something I'd love to see being used. Especially since it's 2 colorless energy. Super splashable. Wugtrio. When you play to evolve from your hand, search your deck for free Pokemon tool cards. Yeah, that's okay. I don't like coin flips. Coin flips are fun. I had an awesome coin flip deck I love to use, but that was with Glimwood Tangle, where you can redo your coin flips. You can't do that anymore, so it's kind of doo-doo feces. Our Masquerain, again, coin flips, not a fan. Golisopod, fan of bug types. I love bug types. 1 water for 20 in each of your opponent's hand. That's interesting. I think in the super late game, that's kind of good, but in the early game, this is a garbage card. If your opponent has 7 cards in hand, that's a 140 ping for 1 water energy. That's not bad. It really depends on what kind of deck your opponent's playing. And your opponent in the late game can obviously get to a position where they have a lot of cards in their hand. They can also get to a position where they don't. If side decking was a thing in Pokemon, I would definitely say you probably would want to side deck like a 2 and 2 of these into your water deck. But it's not. I don't think it's good enough to justify it. Mantike, bringing back the baby Pokemon. Absolutely love it. 30 damage for 30 health for an awesome effect. No retreat cost. The baby Pokemon really are killing it, in my opinion. 120 from one of your bench Pokemon with no cost. I think it's alright. You know, honestly, if you're into consideration to where one of your EX, V, V-Star, V Max is in a point where they could easily die from some damage, you switch them out to Mantike, you sacrifice the Mantike, and you heal 120. Now, you're in a much more dangerous position. However, you have to pretty much sacrifice a prize card. You know, if it's in a super late game, you might be hesitant, but it does save your EX. You know, it depends on your scene. Again, this is one of those cards where if side decking was a thing, this would probably be in a side deck. A lot of the baby Pokemon as well, like Cleffa. Purloin. Ferrothorn. Takes 30 less damage from attacks. Not bad. During your next turn, the Spinning Needle's attack does 100 more. So you think in 2 turns, that's 200 for 2 energy. So that's about 100 per turn with no additional effect. And you have to get it consistently, like your Ferrothorn can't leave. Honestly, not great. If you're playing a limited format, then yeah, it could work, but I don't know, I'm not feeling it. Dondozo, the great bozo who's got a lot of combos. So 160 on a basic is really nice. The spacing's super weird on that supplemental swallow up. So you can look at top 5, attach any number of basic energy, and shuffle the other cards back to your deck. That's I'm not crazy on it. And the fact that it needs 5 water energy to hit for 180. I mean, if there's any deck that can do it, it's water. I'm just not crazy on it. That's a lot of energy for 180 damage. I'd rather be running the Wishy-Washy from... It's a Rapid Strike Wishy-Washy. I don't know if it's from the Rapid Strike set, but... Gimmighoul. And another Zacian. Alright, Joltik. Norman! Oh, cool to see him back. Draw 2 cards. If your opponent's active as an EX, draw 2 more. I'm iffy on that. I think what you can just do is straight draw free. With cards like Barry, Friends in Galar, Friends in Paldea, whatever. Draw 2 and then a potential also draw 2 is not great. I'd rather go for consistency. Dragon type Tatsugiri. I actually like that. I really like that. So you can DTE it, right? Search your deck for 2 cards. Put them in your hand, shuffle your deck, switch your hand Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. The only thing you have to really worry about is Judge and Iono. After that, this is an excellent card. Especially if you have some good switch outs. We're running Pokemon specific for switch outs. Got Gabite. Another Zacian. Oh shoot, I didn't look at Zacian. I don't think so. Steelix. Earthquake. 130. 30 energy to your bench Pokemon. Not bad. 5 energy for a 180. Has to evolve from Onix. Honestly, I'd rather play Dondozo. The Plusle mining combo is super cool. But you really need the miner to showcase it. Gible, Fairthorn, Garganacl. Okay, love the art on Garganacl. Attach a basic energy from one of your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. And if you do so, heal 30 from that Pokemon. Like it. I like it. I mean, the problem is it's a stage 2, so it's kind of hard to cheat out. But other than that, it's really good Pokemon. I like it. Yamask. Feeble. They really like pushing that Feeble. Bobbin Run. Or Robin Run, my bad. When you play this Pokemon to evolve, you may have your opponent reveal their hand. Choose 2 energy, shuffle them into your opponent's deck. Not crazy. I mean, yeah, you're shutting down your opponent's deck, but all they need is like an Iono or a Professor's Research and they're back in the game. Granted, they might not get it. They might not have those cards. But for 60, no. Mantike. Mela. It's like the second supporter I've seen. You can use this card only if one of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn. Attach a basic fire energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon, and then draw cards until you have 6 in your hand. So, this is like Raihan, except I think Raihan's a lot better. Because Raihan allows you to attach any kind of basic energy, not a fire energy, and then you just search your deck for a card. So, the second part, if you have a lot of cards in your hand, then this is kind of rubbish. If you don't, then this works well. I think you'd probably throw both into fire decks, depending on what's you're running. But fire decks are few and in between. Luxurious Cape. If this Pokemon does not have a rule box, it gets 100 HP. And if it's knocked out, that opponent takes 1 more prize card. So that's super interesting. It's a super risky game. Essentially, it can turn any Pokemon into EX or a V. I don't know if I'd run that necessarily. The only Pokemon I'd highly consider running that with, as an instant yes please, is going to be Heatran Radiant. Because you want a lot of HP, you want that extra damage onto Heatran Radiant. But it can't target Heatran Radiant since it has a rule box, so... Iron Bundle, a future Pokemon. Once during your turn, if it's on your bench, you may switch out your opponent's active Pokemon to the bench. If you do, discard this Pokemon, all attached cards. It's like a one-sided escape rope. But you have to discard an all attached cards. Now, if you're using the Pokemon in a vacuum, that's not bad. You play it, you escape rope your opponent's Pokemon, get it out of the active slot. That might not be what they want. Yeah, I'm not crazy. With a strong, powerful Pokemon EX in play, I don't like it. if you could force your opponent or to pick a certain Pokemon like a boss's orders, then we would be talking this is absolutely broken. But since it's a one-sided escape rope, I really don't know. Refrigerated Steam's not bad. If the opponent's Pokemon's an evolution Pokemon, it can't attack during your opponent's next turn. So that's 80 for free. It's a bit expensive, but forcing your opponent to not attack is always good. There's ways to get around it. You know, you switch back out, but... Octillery! When you evolve into an Octillery from your hand, you may draw free cards. Not bad. Let's see if the move can really save it. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon tries to use an attack. Your opponent flips a coin. Okay, so it's like an accuracy drop. Again, I hate the coin flips. Mesa Goiza was a card I definitely tried to use. Can't use it because I fail my coin flips all the time. If you can get your coin flips, you go right on ahead. You use cards like those. But with the reduction of coin flips in No Glimwood Tangle, then it sucks. And Lokix, a dark type version of the bug type Pokemon. So let's see if it's good. I was not a fan of Lokix from the previous set. Does 40 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. And switch of one. I like that. I really like that. If you're running Pokemon like Radiant Alakazam, then that's massive damage. Because, let's take a look. Let's say you use Radiant Alakazam to move 2 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Well, now this is going to do 40 more for each of those damage counters. So that's an additional 80. And a 10 means that's 110. Which is honestly good. So it does 50 damage. I don't know what I'm saying. I was going to say it does 50 damage for each damage counter, but that doesn't make sense. But Lokix is really nice. This is a deck I'm definitely going to look at playing, especially with ping bots. Like, no, not Radiant Blastoise, because you're going to want Alakazam as your Radiant. But maybe you pair it up with the VMAX Inteleon. Yeah. So sorry that took forever. I just want to take a look at the Pokemon we got. Now let's customize our deck super quick on what we obtained. I like to, I guess, bling out the deck is a way to call it. We're going to be playing Roaring Moon EX. We're going to set active. We're just going to edit it real quick. I got plenty of coins. We'll see what we want to give it skin-wise. Shoot, let's give it the Gengar's Candy Horde. Let's give it Togepi, just cuz. And I'm thinking Mewtwo. All just cuz. And now we'll switch out Pokemon for better variations of the cards. So 2 B-Barrel. Don't have another Brute Bonnet. There's no full art or alt arts. Nope. Oh shoot. That's weird. That's really weird. Huh. Because I know I have the Bidoof. Yeah, there it is. I don't know what was up with that. Yeah, okay, that must be some sort of glitch that's occurring. So there's a Brute Bonnet alt. Do I have an alt? No alt on Eradicate. No alt on Rattata. No alt on Reversals. I have nothing crazy in terms of Dark Energy. But I do have some nice alternates for items. Nothing on Switch, nothing Escape Route. I think I have 1 copy of Dark Patch. Okay, no Orphan Vessel. I do know I have 2 of these Iono. nothing there. I think I have a gold path to the peak. I have 3 of them. Okay, we'll add 1. Take out these. Add 2 more. Super Rod, I have a singular copy. In gold. Pow Pad, unlimited. Nest Ball, limited. Research. I think they want double Soda. What we'll do is we'll add 1 singular Soda and we'll pay respect. Let's use Magnolia. I don't think a lot of people use Professor Magnolia as their go-to Professor's Research. Do I have an alt on? Nope, no Collapse Stadium. But Boss's Orders, I definitely do. We'll do double Getsy's just cause. Huge Getsy's fan. And the art is good. So this is going to be Roaring Moon EX, the deck. Pimped up. And let's just go into ranked and play some matches. We want to play 1 item and play 3 stadiums. I think that's highly possible for us. Okay, we're going against Toshiba 360. He's playing some sort of psychic deck. A little concerned with that. Because, well, maybe we're dark type, so we work out if we're playing against a psychic. But psychic decks are pretty good when you're running against them. Oh, alright, opening hand. I'm actually going to open up with the Bidoof because I don't want my Roaring Moon taking any damage. Yeah. This is low ladder, but I mean the season just reset, so it's possible I'm playing against a high ladder. He plays a Natu. That's interesting. Can't say I know much about Xatu decks, but we'll see definitely how it's going to work. This is a tough choice. I'm gonna get the Radiant Greninja onto the field. That way I can concealed cards. Get rid of one of these basic Dark Energy. Definitely keeping Reversal. Eradicate and Switch. That's not terrible. We're going to Dark Patch into Roaring Moon. Basic Dark Energy Roaring Moon. And we're just gonna end turn. Taking a look at Reversal. It provides colorless, so it is some sort of energy. So we can definitely work for that. Okay, he plays Path to the Peak, which is kind of unfortunate for me because that's taking out my stadium options for the turn. The Abra is definitely going to Alakazam EX from that set. Yeah, I'm just gonna use the Reversal energy. I don't have to worry too much, and we'll just switch now. And we'll drop a Professor's Research. Pull me back to 7. I think that's pretty good. We'll drop it alone Rattata. We don't really need a second Roaring Moon on the bench, but I will not play the Bidoof because I'm about to play Collapse Stadium. Drop that. We have 4 Dark Patches in this deck, so we're going to drop a concealed cards. I mean, technically I should have B-barreled first, but it's whatever. I hit with Calamity Storm. No, we'll keep Collapse Stadium in play. Shuts them down a little bit. The fact that he was playing his own Path to the Peak means I don't think he's too worried about it, so. Boss's Orders, the Brute bonded up. Okay, that's interesting. I'm sure he thinks that we don't have anything to switch in, and honestly, that's the right choice on his end. Rubanda has 3 retreat costs, so if we don't have an escape rope, if we played our 1 switch, which we already did, then that's kind of a tough position. That Mimikyu is going to suck to fight against. Oh, yep. Oh, no. How do you do 50? Oh, he's playing Defiant Band, not Choice Band. Okay. Dark Patch just a bench? One of my bench Dark Pokemon. Let's escape rope. Prevent all damage done. Let's concealed cards. Ancient booster capsule energy. This isn't damage, this is an effect. So we can really bypass that easily. We'll set up another Bidoof. And we'll play a Dark on the Rattata. And Dark Patch the Rattata. And we're gonna Industrious Incisors. Drop to 5. I am not upset with everything that's going on. I just don't know where to go from here. I want to keep the second Roaring Moon, but I think we're in a good position. I'm going to drop both these Ultra Balls. And we're going to pick up B-Barrel. We'll just increase our draw potential. We can't do that right now. The only other Ancient we got is that. So, all in all, seems really redundant, but we're going to do Frenzy Gouging. Yeah. It was the only way we were going to kill that Mimikyu. So, I mean, 200 self-damage to take out a Mimikyu seems like absolutely insane. But when you really think about it, only thing we could do, best position to be in, actually. Opponent conceded, had nothing left. So, yeah, honestly, for our first match, I think this is good. Of course, this is a low league. This guy was probably trying something out new, so always applaud people who want to try something out new. I mean, it's kind of what I'm doing right now with this Roaring Moon EX deck. But all in all, that 240's placed weird. I don't know if anyone saw that, but that 240 was kind of just positioned weirdly. I think this update really kind of needs some patches to get it fixed. Opponent's flipping. Absol EX is super interesting. Yeah, I'll go first. Now, I don't know if it means they're playing a dark deck, playing Absol. They got Roaring Moon sleeves. Okay, so we'll play Roaring Moon EX as our opener. Honestly, not ideal. Roaring Moon X, give him the thumbs up. Get our Collapsed Stadium in, because we just need that. And we'll just get Ancient Booster Energy right now. All in all, not a great opener. Could honestly be better. But it works. He hits the Pokegear, so the deck's modified. Professor Sada's Vitality. To maximize that, he's definitely going to need another... Okay, yeah, he's Ultra Ball. I don't know what he's going to pick up. There's a lot more ancient Pokemon than the two that are referenced here. I'm saving to look at the set list for the next vid. But we're going to see what he picks up. Trashing an Ancient Boost Energy and an Ultra Ball this early in the game is super interesting. Curious. Squawkabilly, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I get that. Earthen Vessels to pick up 2 basic energy cards. Now, that's interesting. So he's going to play one and trash the other, or is he going to trash both? He plays one. Squawkabilly EX, discard his hand to draw 6. The Sada's Vitality, though, seems almost like a waste. He's got the Greninja, Earthen Vessel, trashing a Dark Energy, so he's burning out a lot of Dark Energy real fast. Picks up another 2 Dark Energy. That's that combo I was talking about way earlier. Sada's Vitality only really works for the Roaring Moon, but he gets to draw 3 cards. Gets his own Ancient Booster Capsule, concealed cards. So I'm really not in a great place right here. Okay, he plays Pokestop. I'm probably going to seize upon that opportunity. Ah, shoot. Battle VAP pass. That was definitely not something I wanted him to hit. Yeah. That was super quick pick on his end. More Peko and another Roaring Moon. This is not a great position I'm in. We're gonna need something. Okay, Brute Bonnet, definite help there. We're gonna Pokestop before we make any moves. Pulled up a Super Rod. Bidoof, half to the peak, gone. That's rough. Shoot. Really, the only thing I could think of us doing to buy some time is just gonna be switch. Dark Energy. Hope he doesn't have boss's orders. Now taking a look at what's in the trash, there's a Bidoof. That's really not worth a Super Rod. Just get end turn. But now we got a whole new problem of having to get our Brute Bonnet out of the field. We needed one of those Ionos for Professor's research at these points. So he Greninja's in our energy. He's got a super strong hand. Lumineon V. This deck's definitely one that I could utilize, the Lumineon V. Problem is that it's an easy target once on the bench. But being able to pick out those prize cards helps a lot. I'm surprised he went for Professor Sada's Vitality rather than Boss's Orders. I would have personally picked out a Boss's Orders, forced my Roaring Moon EX in, and then just knock him out, because I'm in a bad position. I probably would have forfeited at this point. He's got the Escape Rope. Switch into more Peko, switch back. That's the combo. Yeah, yeah. So I see the desire for Vitality in that instance. I mean, I don't know what he's got planned to hit, because he only really hit that Roaring Moon for one. He gets to draw free, so... Earthen Vessel. The game's done. I'm gonna let it play out because you know what? Maybe I could draw something. But all in all, the game's done. And you get Storm out. He's at 14 cards left in his deck. Maybe he doesn't realize how far he's burnt. Okay. Yeah, he hits himself for the 2 Undo. We're gonna really need hope to pull like an Ultra Ball or something. Just play it slow, play it low. Nest Ball, that's a start. That's a start. I don't know if I want to. I don't know what I want to hit with this. We're gonna want Radiant Greninja. This allows us to draw more energy. We're gonna hit with the Pokestops. Play to luck. Dark Patch. That kind of sucks. That's actually really not great. Concealed cards. Oh my goodness. This is a super tough position run. Or you hit Sada's Vitality because maybe we can draw free, draw something. Thin the deck out a bit. Hit with this. Any Pokemon I want to really pull. Shoot, that's basic. Yeah, I'm just gonna forfeit. I'm really in a position where I can't pull it back. That was tough. You know, you see one of the weaknesses of the deck is that it can just brick hard. There's no real ways to get out of it. And this is just a default deck I'm running. So, you know, you can feel free to be like this person I played against. Edit the deck in any way that you wish. But running the default deck, you just can't really hold up. So this looks to be another Roaring Moon deck. We'll throw heads just to see what we get. One nice thing about random stuff on the Poke Gear, I guess is the way to put it, the deck sleeves, the coin, all that, is it's kind of hard for your opponent to expect. Especially with something like Bidoof, where Bidoof gets splashed into pretty much every single deck. At this point in the game, my opponent has no clue on what to expect. They can make some assumptions. Maybe I'm playing Roaring Moon, maybe I'm playing Gholdengo, maybe I'm playing Mew VMAX. But it's that slight ounce of randomness that the opponent is shut down upon. So opens up Brute Bonnet. Honestly, not crazy on this hand so far. I don't know what I want to open with. I'm thinking, sheesh, I don't know. We're gonna pop a Radiant Greninja. That way we can pop a concealed cards to get rid of that basic dark energy. Okay, I dig it. I dig it. We're gonna Sada Research next turn, so we can trash these two. And it sounds super weird, but I'm honestly gonna pick up the Raticate. Rattata for the Raticate. Hit the dark energy on here. And end turn. Maybe I should have set up Roaring Moon, but I think there's a lot of options for Roaring Moon and Brute Bonnet. Once I get the flow set up. Battle VIP Pass. I don't know if he's gonna Iono. Iono's it's whatever. I'm still at a plus at that moment. This deck definitely wants to run Battle VIP Pass. There's a lot of Pokemon you want out on turn 1. Double Poison. Oh, I get it. I get it now. The capsule prevents it from getting poisoned. I was seeing the ability, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Why would you want to make yourself poisoned? Well, there's some Pokemon that can deal with it, or you can switch out. No, just have the Brute Bonnet have the capsule, or have your Roaring Moon have the capsule. Make yourselves both poison. So, Sada's Vitality, some Super Ramp. Morpeko. That's a good card to have on bench. We're going to Evolve next turn, which is going to get rid of the poison. Second Dark Energy on Roaring Moon. Not great in our eyes, but we can definitely pull it through. Dark Patches, free Dark Patches, and we already got our stuff set up. So, ends turn with the Brute Bonnet. Basic Dark Energy. We're going to pop the Raticate. We're going to pop the B-Barrel. Pop a Dark Energy. I think we're going to have a lot of plays we can make. We're going to pop Research first. Yeah, I'm glad with that. Okay, so this is a super tough position we're in. I don't want to drop the Reversal Energy. However, with the Raticate, I don't think we need it at this point. I'd rather keep Iono and Boss's Orders at this moment. So we'll drop Reversal and pick up 2. We'll Concealed cards to get another 2. Okay, Path to the Peak works. We'll shut down his. Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. We'll trash. This is tough. We need cards on the field. Boss's Orders and Iono. Pick up a Brute Bonnet. Pop this. We're gonna need to pop the B-Barrel at this moment. Oh, shit. We don't need a run. We don't need a run Ultra Ball at this point. We can just pop a Roaring Moon. And honestly, just call ourselves cool. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a switch. Because I'd rather have B-Barrel than Greninja at this point. Poisoning's not going to do anything but hurt us. We're just going to enter. I say we're in a fairly dangerous position where we are. I mean, granted, we have to trash some good cards. We're only running 1 Pal Pad, and that's in trash, which is unfortunate. He's not going to be able to pop the Brute Bonnet. He would need some crazy plays, which is not worth it. He would have to switch and retreat into Morpeko. So that's burning his switch for the turn. And that's not even counting if he's playing Escape Rope as his switch. Yeah, see, there's his Escape Rope. Where... Yeah, see, I want to save the B-Barrel. We're in a position where if I have to sack something, it's going to be B-Barrel. He runs Iono. I actually would have rather not getting rid of my hand with that because the Vitality looked good. This is manageable. This is highly manageable. Calamity Storm. So, okay. Okay. We need to make some plays because we need to get the dark energy in our hand. And honestly, the first thing we're just going to do is play Vitality. One of you, one of you. There we go. This fixes up what we needed. So we're going to place a Lone Eradicate on the bench. Ancient Booster to whatever. Do I not have any... No, I got... Oh, I don't have any dark energy in my trash. That's crazy. You'd think at this point in the game I'd have some dark energy. Nest Ball. Let's pop up another Bidoof just to set that up. Let's concealed cards away to basic dark energy. That's alright. Nest Ball. More Peko. I don't think we're in a position where we can get too crazy with Roaring Moons. I'd rather have the more Peko as a switch option. We'll just Dark Patch. Toxic Powder to get the poison up, and congrats with that. A lot of effect damage, which, interesting enough, does not account for damage, which constitutes for points towards your overall score at the end. If anyone remembers running Poison decks, you actually got super low scores for running Poison decks because you're technically not doing damage, you're doing effects. So, this is probably a similar situation. You do have options to run some damage, but all in all, you're not going to be getting that damage out. I like the hand I got right now. B-Barrel onto the Bidoof. We can go into more Peko, Dark Patch, and a Roaring Moon. Knock out his Roaring Moon by forcing it out with Boss's Orders EX. So all in all, that's pretty good. We could also just keep the Eradicate as the base right here. If by chance he doesn't get knocked out, which he's in prime position to get knocked out right there. Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's not good. We wanted that Roaring Moon EX. Hard hitter. That's a game closer. That is an honest to goodness game closer right there. And getting that KO'd is not good. That's going to put him at free prize cards. I think what we have to do at this point is we're just going to run the Eradicate Brute Bonnet. Like maybe more Peko. We're going to Dark Patch the Brute Bonnet. Set up the Lone Rattata. The B-Barrel. I don't want to collapse Stadium at this point. And we're super low on cards. I want to keep the Boss's Orders. I really do. It's a game finisher. The question is, do I put the Dark Energy on Brute Bonnet? Or do I go to the Rattata? I think we can easily work with the Brute Bonnet with more stuff we get later on. We'll pop an Scissors to just draw a card. Dark Patch, yeah. We'll pop onto Rattata. You don't need to use a supporter this turn. We're just gonna Poison. I mean, it's unfortunate that there's no just genuine damage I could do. But I think the combo's too good to pass up. The ability to have a poison occurring from the bench is really good. That's what's gonna make this deck. We got a second Brute Bonnet. I don't know if we have another energy capsule. That's only one. We have one right here. I think we were running free. So we're in a position where we could set up. The only issue is going to be, is one of these two prize cards a second Alolan Raticate? And is it going to be the Energy Rod or Super Rod? If that's the case, we're in a tough position. Now he's setting up, he brings out Lumineon V, which is honestly a mistake on his end. Because now he's primed to get killed by the same combo I've taken out with. And since he needs free prize cards, then he's needs to kill an EX and a basic, or free, nah, I shouldn't say basic, but free standard Pokemon. So I have some time, I can buy some time, while his Lumineon V essentially seals the game for him. Vitality to get to that Brute Bonnet draw free, not bad. Roaring Moon. I mean, personally, I saw it as Vitality has to be the one thing he has, because I don't see why he would play it over a Research at this point in the game. I'm gonna, instead of Lumineon, I'm gonna pull up the Roaring Moon EX just to dunk on his ass. But Pokegear, yeah, he's out. He's done. He realizes it's over. Just burning cards, just to burn cards. We're gonna hit Path to the Peak just to flex. We're gonna move Roaring Moon up. Now we gotta play fast because he is going to retreat or concede. So that finishes up the game. And that should finish up all of our challenges. We have played a minimum of 1 item, and we've played a minimum of 3 stadiums. Take our 2 prizes. One was the Raticate, but we did have the Super Rod still available. So all in all, I think the deck was alright. Liked it. Next showcase, I am going to look at the Gholdengo deck. But thank you all for watching. Just collect these dailies. And yes, I could open up the tier 1 rewards, but I'm going to save it for tier 25. And we'll just open up all together. So again, thank everyone for watching, and you have an excellent day.